Welcome to Mankato, Minnesota. I'm Jim Flanagan here on the Gremlins Network, bringing you one of the winners bracket semifinals. This one will feature the number 1 ranked New York Gremlins, currently on a 27-game win streak. They are 27-1. They'll be taking on the number 4 ranked team, Bear Creek Express. And for those of you that have followed the Gremlins season and that long winning streak, you already know Bear Creek Express is the lone team that has knocked off the Gremlins in 2023. They did that way back on the first game of the season. Beat the Gremlins 3-1. Gremlins came back in that same tournament, returned the favor, beat Bear Creek 3-1. So this one figures to be a very even matchup and a hotly contested battle. You're watching the 2023 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. As we said, we're here in beautiful Mankato. A little bit cooler today, still a bit humid, but temperatures a lot more comfortable than they've been. Some other games going on. You can find scores on the internet, Game Changer, and so forth. But right now we're going to focus on this one. The home team will be Bear Creek Express. Let's set them defensively for you. Around the infield, Brandon Horn at third, Travis Jones at short, Tyler Pauly at second, and Jason Hill, the veteran, over at first base. In the outfield, left to right, it's Quentin Bruce. In left, Jordan Pomeroy, the fine young Canadian. In center field, Colin Walsh. Over in right field, behind the plate, Ryan Bolin. And in the circle, Sean Cleary. Batting order for the Gremlins in this one. It'll be a familiar look. Matthew Waugh leading off. He'll be followed by Jerome Remaki. Ben Inoka will bat third. Eric Ochoa hitting cleanup. And Cleary misses upstairs with the first pitch of this game for a ball. Zenon Winters in the 5 spot. He's the DP in this game, designated player. Cole Evans will bat 6th. Brian Avery 7th. Ladislav Malarchuk, the second baseman, batting 8th. And Nick Mullins, senior member of the USA team, he's doing the catching. He'll bat 9th. Cleary in with a called strike on that one. A little late starting this one. We apologize for the delay. It was originally scheduled for 2 p.m. They moved it up to 1 p.m., trying to dodge the rain predicted to come in this evening. But the game between the Midland Explorers and Oma Tigres ran long, and that's why we're just underway. So if you joined us late, you haven't missed anything. That one's hit deep to right field, down the line. It's going to carry out of here. That ball clears both fences. The championship fencing and the fence beyond. Matthew Waugh got all of that one and just turned on it. Just like that, Gremlins on top, 1-0. Now there you see it on the replay. Just got a load of that one, carried on out, no doubt about it. We've talked about Matthew being among the top hitters. He's in the top of the charts in runs scored and singles, but some good power on display there. And speaking of power, here's Jerome Remaki. Remaki yesterday with a 3-run blast. That's the 4th time he's done it this year as he continues to load up on the RBIs. He has 10 more RBIs than anyone else on this Gremlin squad. He leads the Gremlins with 8 home runs now, just ahead of Ben Inoka and Blake Hunter, who have 7. So the Gremlins strike first. Here's Remaki. Good pitch on the outside part of the plate, working him away. Remaki likes the ball in his wheelhouse, likes to pull the ball. We've talked about his 3-run homers this year being the signature mark for Remaki. Not your typical number 2 hitter, I would say. Had 2 of them on the final day of the Peligro Cup, one in the semi, one in the final. Rises to the occasion on big games. Good changeup by Cleary. Way out in front is Remaki. Cleary now very deliberately has the sign, rocks and fires. Grounder by the shortstop, Travis Jones, into left field. Ramaki's going to try for two, and he slides in just ahead of the tag. Ramaki going for broke out there. Had himself a clean single. The ball got by Travis Jones before he could see it. But Ramaki looked and saw the outfielders taking a bit of time and helps himself to second base. Let's watch the replay. Or we did. So still nobody out for the Gremlins in the first. One run in on the homer by Matthew Waugh. And the batter will be Ben Inoka. Ball off the plate outside. We were joking last night that maybe Inoka would want to file a complaint against Ramaki because it seems like every time Benny comes up this year, it's with the bases empty. Ramaki with the 3-run homers and such, grabbing up all the RBIs. So fittingly, it's Ramaki now on base and Inoka with a chance to pick up an RBI, driving him in. In for a call, strike on the outside edge. Inoka nodding his head, saying, yep, yep. Maybe not the pitch he wanted, though. A little bit off the plate, away. Ramaki with his hands on his knees, looking over the shoulder of Cleary into home plate. Right down the heart of Main Street with that one, so Cleary ahead 0-2 now. The Gremlins sporting their new look uniforms, the bright white lettering New York on the front, old school look. Laced into the gap in left center field. That one's going to bounce a couple of times and come off the fence. Ramaki around third. He'll jog home with run number 2. And Ben Inoka matches the double, driving in Jerome. So 2-0 Gremlins. That one a little bit too much of the plate from Cleary. The ball was up in the zone. Watch the replay. So 3 consecutive hits, still no outs in the inning. And it'll be Eric Ochoa stepping in. Eric coming into the game has a .358 average. .24 hits on the season for Ochoa, 24 RBI. Looking for another one right here, trying to drive Inoka home. So the Gremlins off to a good start here in the semifinal game. The winner will advance to the winner's bracket final. That one's scheduled for 7 p.m. local time tonight. That's Central Time. Cleary with a little change up away, misses off the plate. Now set and fires. Hard grounder up the middle, fielded by shortstop Jones. He knocks it down, but can't make the play. Let's watch the replay. Tough chance on that one. Looks like he just didn't come up with it cleanly. Got leather on it. High hopper. The ball was down in the zone, and he did knock it down, but couldn't come up with the play. So over to third is Ben Inoka. And on at first is Ochoa. Single or error, you make the call. We'll wait for the official scoring. But regardless, Gremlins with runners at the corners and still nobody out. Here's Zenon Winters. Winters the DP today. Splits his time between an outfield spot, generally in right field, but he's been the DP for the last couple of days. He comes into this game with a sizzling .431 batting average. He's among the leading hitters on the squad. Run production totals are up, even though he doesn't have as many at-bats as some of the others in the batting order. Zenon, the most valuable player in New York City at that Peligro Cup tournament. A good run producer, a good change up there from Cleary on the outside part of the plate. Corners for Bear Creek, just about even with the bag. That's Horn over at third. Jason Hill at first, outfield straight away. Winters will use all of the field. Checks his swing, just a foul tip. Good movement on the ball coming from the middle of the strike zone in on the hands of Winters. The other semifinal game going on the other diamond. They're already in the 5th inning of that one. Hill United on top 11-2 over the AWP Lumberjacks. So the winner of that game taking on the winner of this one tonight at 7. Looks to be Hill if that score holds. Swing and a miss late on the ball as Winters, so he's down on strikes. First out of the game recorded by Cleary, strikeout number 1, and it'll be Cole Evans. Evans steps in with a .377 batting average. Had a 2-run homer yesterday. Evans with good power, just below the top home run hitter numbers by 1 or so. High pop up on the infield. That one's going to sail out of play over the first base dugout. Inoka at third, Ochoa over at first, so runners at the corners for Evans. Open stance right down the heart of Main Street with that one from Cleary. Cleary's pitched well in the tournament thus far, had something on the order of 10 strikeouts yesterday. Actually, a no-hitter he had on Friday, the game against AHI Reapers. 10 strikeouts, no hits in his 5 innings of work. Schofield coming on to close up that one. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball. Gets away from Boland. Hard swing from Evans. The ball up out of the zone, though. Watch him chase here. You'll see the location on it. Had his mind made up he was going to swing at that pitch. So still runners at the corners for the Gremlins. 1 out in the inning. 2 runs in already. Off the plate outside. Cleary, very deliberate pace, taking his time. Big game pitcher, wants to throw the pitch he wants. Now set, comes in with a little changeup on the inside part of the plate. Just missing. So 2-2. Brian Avery waiting on deck. He'll be next. Cleary set now, 3-2 pitch. 2-2 pitch, I'm sorry, that's 3-2 now. Scoreboard read the future. Showing it now at 3-2. Evans will step back in. High pop up in the infield. Going back is Tyler Pauly on the edge of the grass. Now over the shoulder. Inoka tags and fakes that he's going to go, but heads back to third. Turned out to be a little tougher play for Pauly than originally thought. Watch the replay. You'll see. Looks like he's going back to make the catch and then has to catch the ball going away. Inoka watching to see if he could do it cleanly. So 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up Brian Avery. Avery stepping in with an even .400 batting average. He has done everything that the coaching staff for the Gremlins has asked of him this year. Once again starting this game in right field. He and Zenon Winters sometimes trade places. This one, Zenon is the DP and Brian in right field. Defense for Bear Creek straight away. Grounder to short by the shortstop, Travis Jones, into left field for a base hit. Benny Noka checks in with run number 3. There you see on the replay, ball was down, but he got a nice piece of it, just enough to drive it in the 5.5 hole. So Brian Avery with an RBI single. 3 runs in. And we're down to the number 8 spot, Ladislao Malarchuk. So the first 3 batters, Wah, Remaki, and Inoka, all have scored in the inning. As Laddie will step in. Malarchuk with a home run yesterday. He went the other way with it and deep for his second home run, or third home run of the season. Batting in the 8th spot, usually a contact hitter, but the power is there. Swings and misses at a changeup. Shaking his head at himself, I think. Great pitch from Cleary. Great time to call it for Bolin. So Ochoa at second. Brian Avery at first. And Ladislao Malarchuk at the plate. In for a call strike on the outside edge. So the first 4 batters with hits by the Gremlins, but Cleary, a big game pitcher that he is, patiently working, deliberately working, trying to close out the inning without much more damage. Not rattled, giving up some runs here in the first. He knows it's a long game. Outside edge, just missing. Bolin framing that one. Trying to give that home plate umpire a look. Just off the plate. Looks like that Hill United game was a final, so they will advance to a 7 p.m. winners bracket final against the winner of this one. Swing and a miss on a good rise from Cleary. Down on strikes goes Malarchuk. Side retired, but the Gremlins striking for 3 on 4 hits in the inning. We'll head to the home half of the first inning, get our first look at the Bear Creek Express as young Jack Besgrove heads out to the pitching circle. We'll be back with more right after this. Home half of the first inning. Let's set the Gremlins for you defensively. Familiar faces they are. Over at third base, Jerome Remaki. At short, Cole Evans. Second base, Ladislao Malarchuk and Eric Ochoa on at first. In the outfield, left to right, it's Waugh. In left, Inoka in center. And Brian Avery over in right. Nick Mullins once again doing the catching. And in the circle, 19-year-old pitching sensation from Australia, Jack Besgrove. Besgrove coming off a win last night, so he's pitching back-to-back. He went the distance in the win over the Oma Tigres. The Tigres were an 11th ranked team. They came out and won another game today, so they are still alive. Besgrove had a great performance against him, struck out 14 Tigres, only gave up 3 hits, no runs, and just 3 walks. Some said perhaps not as sharp last night as he's been in some of the outings, but that's a relative term. It's pretty hard to strike out 14 and not be on your game. We'll see how he looks today. Fine young left-hander. Stepping in for Bear Creek will be Quentin Bruce. He'll be followed by Ty Sebastian. Tyler Pauly will hit third. Ryan Bolin will bat in the cleanup spot. Colin Walsh 5th. Jason Hill 6th. Travis Jones 7th. Brandon Horn 8th. And the youngster Jordan Pomeroy down in the number 9 spot. Bear Creek Express largely Team Canada for international competition. Swing and a miss on a good outside rise ball from Besgrove. The Gremlins, on the other hand, a good mix or blend of all countries. 5 from New Zealand, 3 from Canada, 3 from Argentina, 3 from Australia, 2 from the USA, and 1 from Mexico. High fly ball back to left field. Waugh's going to give chase, and Quentin Bruce has just matched Matthew Waugh with a leadoff home run. So got a pitch he liked and drove it the other way. So Matthew Waugh did it for the Gremlins, and Quentin Bruce returns the favor to start things off in the bottom half of the first inning for Bear Creek Express. So now the score at 3-1, and it'll be Ty Sebastian to step in. First pitch swing and fouls that one off the screen. Sebastian with a solo home run in their game yesterday. So whether he's hitting in the 2 spot or not, like Remaki, he has good power. Hard one into the gap in left center field. All the way back to the fence goes Inoka. And Ty Sebastian cruises in with a stand-up double. Deja vu. It's batter for batter. It was Remaki to follow the home run with a double for the Gremlins. And just like that, Ty Sebastian says, I like that approach. He's out at second. Still nobody out. And Tyler Pauly stepping in. Rise ball in for a called strike. That one away from the left-hander. Pauly yesterday with a 3-run homer. That was the big hit in their 4-run 7th inning that accounted for their win. That coming against Circle Tap. That game was a number 4 Bear Creek versus a number 5 Circle Tap, and the Express coming away the winner. That one off the glove of Mullins goes to the screen. Moving over to third on the play is Ty Sebastian. So the Express has come to play here. Gave up the 3 in the first, but trying to get back in it. They've got one already and another one 60 feet away. Swing and a miss on a beautiful changeup. Bestgrove kicking at the dirt out there, not happy with the landing area. I think Nick Mullins is going to go out and try and keep him from getting distracted on things other than pitching. Same case last night. It's a little soft out there in the pitching circle. And when you're a pitcher, that landing area, oh, so important. It was a great pitch, but it looked like he landed off balance. Rise ball high, kicking at the dirt still. Lots of moving parts when you're a pitcher, and that where your feet touch has a lot to do with your balance and everything else. Swing and a miss on a good rise ball. An angry Jack Bestgrove, I think, on that one. A little frustrated by the turf out there, but put a little extra on that one, striking out Pauly. So the first out recorded, it'll be Ryan Boland stepping in. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Bestgrove continuing to kick at the dirt around that landing area. I guess the thinking is you do it early, you won't have to do it later. Trying to get settled in out there is young Jack. Hard foul ball. Ochoa flips the ball to Raymaki. He'll rub it up and give Jack a little bit more time to compose himself out there in the circle. Foul straight back to the screen, just underneath that one. Boland also with good power, as many of these Bear Creek Express hitters have. Very similar in approach to the Gremlins. Lots of offense from both of these clubs when they get things going. Foul straight back to the screen. Same pitch, same result. So 0-2 advantage Bestgrove as he continues to kick away at that dirt in front of the pitching circle. Some of the Hill United team coming on to this diamond or over to watch the game underway. They just finished up with a win over AWP, so they'll take on the winner. They want to look at young Jack Bestgrove. Grounder to first. Ochoa comes to the plate. The ball's off the shin guard of Mullins. The run scores, and down to second goes the tying run. So Ochoa fielded the ball. You'll see in the replay he was off the bag a good bit. Saw the runner going through to the plate, but the slide kicked the ball away. And in the process, Ryan Boland all the way down to second base on the infield single. Ochoa maybe a bit of a chance on that one coming to the plate. Probably had the out at first, but you got a runner coming home right in front of him. He tried to get that lead runner. Looks like a pinch runner out at second base. That looks like Nestor Nova, the fine Dominican Republic player on the Express. And Colin Walsh will step in. Foul out of play over on the right side. So the Gremlins put a 3 spot on the board, but the Express comes roaring back. They've got 2 with the tying run or potential tying run out at second base. And still only 1 out in the inning. Just off the plate outside, maybe a little bit up. Jason Hill on deck. Swinging a foul tip. That one goes to the screen. Bestgrove, we've mentioned, a couple of gold medals. He pitched the Australian men's team to the gold medal. Canada making a run at it, but it was Bestgrove and the Aussie team coming away with the gold. Nick Mullins' USA squad grabbing the bronze. So these no strangers are these players here. High pop-up in shallow right field. Avery comes on to make the catch, and Nestor Nova wisely staying right there at second base. Good pitch from Bestgrove. Ball rising as he struck it. Stays up in the air. Avery makes the catch for out number 2. So a tough out coming to the plate in the form of Jason Hill. He'll step in from the left side for the Express. Trying to get even here in the first inning. Gremlins on top 3-2. Foul tip, tried to check his swing. Mullins hangs onto it. Defense for the Gremlins straight away. Remaki in maybe a step from third. Ochoa even with the bag at first. Malarchuk shaded just a little bit towards the middle. Another one in for a call strike on the outside edge. There's the replay on that pitch. He'll look back at the home plate umpire as if to say, was it? You make the call, but it's on the board. A strike, 0-2 advantage, Jack Bestgrove. In for a call, third strike. Bestgrove, a little extra reach back on that one. Good pitch from the youngster. Jason Hill down on strike, so 2 strikeouts in the inning. But the Express get back with a pair. Leadoff home run from Quentin Bruce, and they score another. 3-2 is where we're at. Second inning. We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching the 2023 USA Softball Men's National Championship from Mankato, Minnesota. Top half of the second inning for the Gremlins. They're on top 3-2. It'll be 9-1-2 in their batting order. That's Nick Mullins. And then back to the top of the order for Matthew Waugh and Jerome Remaki. Sean Cleary, the starter in the circle, showing some of that big game poise. The work of an experienced pitcher, even though he gave up 4 consecutive hits in the first inning, 3 runs. Managed to keep his composure, settle down, and get out of the inning, and kept his team close enough that they could strike back in the bottom half of their inning. So credit Cleary for some good composure. First pitch to Mullins, off the plate outside. Nick comes in with a .255 batting average. He, of course, a very important component of this Gremlin winning streak. He is the pitch caller and the anchor of that defense for the New York team. Nick has a home run on the year. Little change up in for a call strike. So everybody on the Gremlin team from top to bottom has at least 1 home run. They've hit 49 home runs over the 28 games they've played. 27 of which they've won in a row. Ball upstairs, just off the plate. The problem for a lot of pitchers has been walks. The free passes always come back to haunt you. And with the Gremlins, we've talked about it. It's a double-edged sword. You need to pitch carefully to them because of their ability. But at some point, you start putting runners on, and then instead of a 1 or 2 run inning, it turns into 3 or 4. The Gremlins, I think to a man, a very selective group. They work very hard to work the pitchers to try and coax those free passes. They have a half a dozen players with double digits in walks. Mullins among them. In for a call strike, and Mullins down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Third strikeout of the game so far for Cleary. Meanwhile, on the other diamond, one of the losers bracket games, the number 2 ranked Niagara Stompers taking on the number 6 ranked J and B. Both of those teams suffering losses in the early going here in the tournament to lower ranked teams, so they're going to have to take it out on each other today. Here's Matthew Waugh, led things off with a home run. Off the plate outside. Not the first time we've seen Waugh lead off the game with a home run. He did it in New York at the Peligro Cup. The Gremlins actually trailed in both the semi and the final game 2-0 early. But in the championship, Matthew Waugh stepped in, hit a home run, and the Gremlins were off to the races, scoring 10 runs total. Slow roller out to second base, bobbled by Pauly, not in time. Looked like an easy chance, but Pauly just didn't pick it up cleanly, maybe watching the runner. Let's see the replay. Waugh, of course, with great speed, so it puts a little pressure on the defender. You see him pick it up, and just a little bit of a delay getting the ball over there. So Matthew Waugh is aboard for the second time today, 2 hits already, and it'll be Jerome Remaki stepping in. Remaki, 34 RBI so far on the season. 10 more than anybody else on this New York team. Ball high from Cleary. Cleary takes his time, not a quick 1 hour and 20-minute game pitcher. Very deliberate out there. Off to the races is Matthew Waugh. He'll grab second easily, slides in well ahead of the throw. So putting that good speed to work. Let's watch the replay. See how it's fielded by Bolin back behind the plate. Pretty good throw. Just too late to get Matthew Waugh. So stolen base to follow his single. Or the error, I'm sorry. Matthew Waugh now at second. Remaki with a chance to pick up another RBI. In for a call strike away from the left-hander. Good location from Cleary. Staying out of that danger zone. You see those hitters charts that show the batting average of the hitters depending on what part of the strike zone you're working to. That's probably one of the few safe places to throw Remaki. Two balls and a strike as Waugh looks in from second base. Off the plate outside. 3-1. Sometimes maybe a temptation with first base open, you think, well, that's no harm, no foul, but more base runners for the Gremlins equals more danger for Cleary. Cleary once again very slowly working, deliberate. Here's the 3-1 pitch coming. Foul tip by Rimaki. Again, Cleary working the outside part of the plate on Jerome. Benny Noka will be next. Much anticipated matchup, this one, the New York Gremlins and Bear Creek. Bear Creek, the lone team to beat the Gremlins this year. They've played twice. They have split 3-1 victories for each. High in the zone, and Rimaki works the walk, so he's aboard for the second time today. And Benny Noka will step in. Benny with a RBI single in his first trip. Drove home Rimaki. Ball all the way to the fence in left center field. Got a really good piece of it. Benny with a little knee injury, had a foul ball come off his knee really hard at the Boys of Summer. Actually left the game, missed a little bit of action, but has come back no worse for wear. In for a call, strike. So Cleary working Inoka the same way he worked Rimaki on the outside part of the plate. Trying to keep it out of their wheelhouse. Matthew Waugh looking on from second. Eric Ochoa will be next. High pop-up in the infield. Middle infielders. Tyler Pauly giving way to Travis Jones, who makes the catch on the outfield grass. So 2 outs in the inning. Big out for Cleary in this spot. And it'll be up to Eric Ochoa to try and get Waugh home. Ochoa with a single in the first. That was the ball by the shortstop that got Benny Noka home. Little change-up off the plate, but on the edge for a called strike. Good location, good pitch from Cleary. This game started about an hour late, and if you're a tournament director looking to get your tournament back on schedule, it's not going to happen with Sean Cleary, who continues to take all the time he wants or needs. Very deliberately working to this Gremlins team. Bolin running through the signs. Now Sean has the one he wants. 0-1 pitch. Little foul off the screen on the left side. 0-2. Advantage Cleary. Cleary now set at the waist, the 0-2 pitch. Pop foul over on the left side. Giving chase is Quentin Bruce right at the foul line. Makes the catch for out number 3. So the Gremlins get a couple aboard but cannot score them. No runs, no hits, and 2 left. We'll head to the home half of the second inning. Still 3-2 Gremlins on top of the Bear Creek Express in this winner's bracket semifinal. We'll be back. Home half of the second inning for Bear Creek. It'll be 7, 8, 9. That's Travis Jones, Brandon Horn, and the youngster Jordan Pomeroy. Jack Besgrove, the 19-year-old pitcher from Australia, working his second inning here. Touched up in the first for a couple of runs, spent part of the inning working at the ground out in front of the pitching circle, trying to find a comfortable landing area. Swing and a miss, good drop ball. That one off the table, it falls. Rise ball stays upstairs out of the zone. 2 balls and a strike. Kicking at the dirt just a little bit, but seems to be a little happier with that landing area. Here's the 2-1 pitch. In for a call strike. Good movement on that one late. Some of the hitters talking about facing Jack Besgrove. What is it that makes him so effective? They talk about a lot of break on the pitches, a lot of late movement. That was a good example of it. That one's fouled back to the screen, so the count will stay at 2-2. Two from Besgrove, grounder foul right back to the screen. We'll do it again. Little slow roller out to second base. Ladislao Malarchuk makes easy work of it. Up and over to Ochoa for the 4-3 put out. So the first out of the second inning in the book, it'll be Brandon Horn stepping in for the Express. Jordan Pomeroy waiting on deck. Horn, a former member of Team Canada, so has some international experience. First pitch swinging off the screen for a foul ball, 1 strike. As we said, Bear Creek largely Team Canada's national squad, but 3 members of it over on the New York Gremlins side. Waugh and the 2 British Columbia boys, Brian Avery and Blake Hunter. Hunter, in his first year as a Gremlin, welcomed himself in that first tournament with that big Grand Slam homer. Fly ball out to right field. It's Avery. He'll camp under it, take a couple steps in and make the catch. So 2 up and down quickly. A little easier inning thus far for Jack Besgrove. To the 9 spot we go for young Jordan Pomeroy. Pomeroy playing at the international level in the U23, 23 and under. Recently down in Argentina. That one's in for a called strike. Splits the uprights with that one, does Jack. Remaki in a step or 2 from third. Ochoa even with the bag at first. Change up, a good one just off the plate. Sort of a teaser pitch. Even if it's not a strike, it plants the seed. Swing and a miss on a good drop ball. Good hard drop ball with some snap on it from Jack. So 1-2 count on Pomeroy, advantage Besgrove. Jack leans way back, now rocks and fires, missing upstairs with a rise ball. So the count even at 2-2, 2 outs in the inning. Swing and a miss on the rise ball. He chases up and out of the zone. Side retired, 3 up and down for Bear Creek. No runs, no hits, and no one left. That's strikeout number 3 for Jack Besgrove. We'll head to the top half of the 3rd inning. Be back right after this from Mankato, Minnesota. Top half of the 3rd inning for the Gremlins. So both starting pitchers surrendering first inning runs and then settling down a little bit in the second. So still 3-2 Gremlins on top. We have a defensive change for Bear Creek Express. It's David Galeno at shortstop. Travis Jones was the starter, so he'll give way to Galeno. For the Gremlins in the 3rd, it'll be 5, 6, and 7. That means Winters, Evans, and Abry. Zenon Winters, the Z-Man. Longtime member of the Australian national team. Zenon picking up a gold medal back in that 2009 run that they had. Adam Folkert and company. Adam out pitching in the earlier semifinal game against AWP today. Looking as sharp as ever. Good pitch from Cleary. That one coming in hard on Zenon Winters. Zenon, as we said, .431 batting average coming into this game. Strikeout victim in his first trip to the plate against Cleary. Hard grounder to short, picked up cleanly by Galeno. Over to first to Jason Hill for the out. So Cole Evans will step in. Evans popped out to second base in his first trip to the plate. That was the ball that carried a little bit, sent Tyler Pauly making the catch over his shoulder. Cole with a wide open stance, the left foot way open. Then steps towards the pitcher. That one's in for a called strike. So lots of Canadian talent on the field here, which reminds me to send a quick hello and shout out to my good friend Al Doran, longtime promoter, booster, fan of men's Fastpitch, pioneer in bringing Fastpitch to the internet over the last couple of decades. Al, good to have you watching. I know you're enjoying the tough competition here on the field. Al, of course, the proprietor of the famous alsfastball.com. Most of you already know it. Probably visit it every day. If you don't, it's alsfastball.com. Hard grounder to short. Galeno knocks it down. Ball bounces over to Pauly, and he comes up with the throw. Great defensive play by Galeno. So the defensive change for the Express paying some dividends right off the bat. Didn't expect they'd have time to get Evans, but they do. So 6 to 4 to 3. Sounds more like a double play, but that's a out. Second one of the inning, it'll be Brian Abry stepping in. Abry with an RBI single. He drove in the third run, which right now is the difference in the ball game. Ball off the plate outside. Sometimes if you're the skipper, you just have a feeling and you decide to make a defensive move, even if it's early in the game. The move to David Galeno at short, paying off already for Bear Creek. Grounder up the middle for a base hit. That one beyond the reach of Galeno. Into center field, fielded by Pomeroy, and then back into the infield. So Avery with his second hit of the day. Let's watch the replay. Ball was up. You see the ball coming right at that center field camera. Great camera work by our friends from Softball Premier TV. So the batter for the Gremlins will be Ladislav Malarchuk. Malarchuk, a strikeout victim in his first attempt against Cleary. That ended that 3-run first inning. Swing and a miss late is Malarchuk. They're playing Malarchuk to go the other way with it. So Pomeroy, the youngster in center, shaded over towards left field. The gap, or the wider gap, is in right center field. Plenty of space if Malarchuk can turn on one. Swing and a miss late on it. Down and away. Good location by Cleary. Oh, 0-2, advantage Cleary against Malarchuk. Ball off the plate, gets off the glove of Bolin. Down to second goes Avery. So now in scoring position. Gremlins would dearly like to pick up an insurance run here. Maybe not insurance at this early juncture, but an extra run nonetheless against a tough Bear Creek squad. The count 1-2 on Malarchuk. Cleary again taking the time. Now finds the sign he wants. Very deliberately working. By design, I think. Finally, the home plate umpire says enough, we'll reset it and start it again. No pitch clock here, but if there was, I think Cleary would have some issues with it, the speed that he's working at. But his time, his dime, he's working at his pace and trying to stay in control. One-two pitch to Malarchuk. Upstairs, checks his swing. They'll appeal it. But no swing, says our third base umpire. So the count even at 2-2, 2 outs. Avery still at second base. Two-two pitch. Off the plate outside, 3-2. First base open. Nick Mullins, the catcher, would be next. Change up, a good one, but it's off the plate. They appeal the call, and no swing, says our umpire. Very close on that one. Let's watch the replay. It's a change up, a good one, just a little bit downstairs. So Malarchuk works the walk, runners at first and second, and Mullins with a chance to drive in a run here with Avery at second. Bear Creek defense playing Mullins to pull. Pomeroy shaded towards left. The wider gap in right center field. Strike down the middle with that one. Looks like perhaps the glove of Bolin. They're going to take a look at that, but adding to the slow pace of the game by design, I think. Something to try and slow the Gremlins down or just disrupt things, not let them get that momentum or the energy level the way it's been for so many of their games this year. And the confab behind home plate finally breaks up. Bolin back behind the plate. And Cleary still taking his time in the pitcher's circle. All that in the count, one strike on Mullins. Looks like Riley Mannion down doing some warm-ups on the sideline for Bear Creek, their young right-hander. In on the outside edge, just off the plate. Cleary thought he had a strike on that one. The long look in. A ball and a strike. It was Riley Mannion, the youngster, the U23 pitcher for Canada, and Justin Schofield that teamed up to beat the Gremlins in that first game of the season. And once again, time called. One pitch from Cleary. Swing and a miss on the rise ball. Up out of the zone, Mullins chasing. Cleary got the first two batters in the inning on ground outs, then the single to center by Avery and the walk to Malarchuk. Swing and a miss, the rise ball. Same pitch, same result. Down on strikes to end the inning goes Mullins. Strikeout number 2 in the game for Sean Cleary, who is making the deliberate pace of things work for him. We'll head to the top half of the third and the Gremlins right after this. New York on top, 3-2 over Bear Creek. Home half of the third inning for Bear Creek. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. That's Sebastian Pauly and Ryan Boland. Jack Besgrove, the starter for the Gremlins, still in the circle. Jack, as we mentioned, pitched in last night's game. That was the win over the Oma Tigres. They came in as the number 11 ranked team. Hung in for a while against the Gremlins, but had the one big inning. And the Gremlins coming away an easy 6-0 winner on that one. The Gremlins in 2 games yesterday scoring 20 runs. They won the first one 14-0. They won the second 6-0. Andrew Kirkpatrick picking up the win in the first one. Jack Besgrove in the second. Little slow roller to Remaki. He'll pick it up and throw just in time. Kind of a crazy hop. Wasn't a hard hit ball, but took a while to get to Remaki. Let's watch the replay. Little squibber. But a good hard throw from Remaki, and the out is recorded. Tyler Pauly will step in now. Pauly, a strikeout victim in his first trip to the plate against Besgrove. Grounder foul. Obviously a new face, so to speak, in Besgrove. A lot of the hitters have not yet seen him. Sometimes takes a while to make the adjustments, so another advantage the youngster has throwing against some of these veteran players from Canada. Laced into right field. That one's in the gap. Going over to cut it off is Avery. Good throw. Keeps Tyler Pauly at first base. Watch the replay here. You'll see him go the other way with it. Got under it a bit, but it carried. Hard hit ball. So strike that. That was Sebastian. It's Pauly at the plate. So just to recap the inning, it was the top of the order. Bruce was the ground out to third. Sebastian, the single. And it's Pauly at the plate right now. In for a call strike. Sebastian over at first represents the potential tying run. Swing and a miss late on the rise ball. Good hard pitch from Besgrove. Still continuing to kick away at the dirt around that pitching circle, trying to find the comfort zone. Swing and a miss late. Quick snap throw down to first. Almost gets him. Ochoa putting the tag on Sebastian. So the strikeout notching out number 2. And it'll be Ryan Boland, the catcher, stepping in. Boland with the infield single last time. That's the ball that brought Ochoa out to field the ball. That was the play. Ochoa came to the plate, and by the time things ended, it was Boland all the way out at second base. Grounder to third. Remaki up with it, throws. Side retired. For Bear Creek in their half of the third inning, they get a hit. No runs. 1 runner left. To the top half of the fourth we go. Still the New York Gremlins on top. This winners bracket semifinal, 3-2. We'll be back with more. Top half of the fourth inning for the Gremlins. It'll be the top of the order once again. Matthew Waugh for his third look at Sean Cleary, followed by Ray Mackey and then Inoka. Lots of emails from folks asking us what it's like here in Mankato. Mankato about 90 minutes down the road from Minneapolis-St. Paul. Most of the teams flying into the MSP Minneapolis Airport, driving in here. Mankato's been named one of the best small cities to live in America. A very eclectic, artsy community here. Sculptures on just about every street corner in the downtown area. Mankato, the former training facility here for 52 years for the Minnesota Vikings NFL team. Lots of big sports fans here in Mankato. Beautiful little city. We had a chance to stroll around the downtown area the other day. We'll talk a little bit more on that later, but right now let's get back to the ball game. 3-2 Gremlins. Matthew Waugh steps in. Waugh with a leadoff homer back in the first, reached on an error his last time up. He's been aboard twice. High fly ball, shallow in left field. Coming over is Quentin Bruce. He'll make the catch for out number one. Here's Jerome Ramaki. Ramaki with a double in the first. That followed the home run by Waugh and then reached on a walk last inning, or the second inning, did not score. Third at bat of the game against Cleary here. Change up off the plate outside. Cleary returning to the way he worked Ramaki the last time. Away, away, away. Away from trouble, he hopes. Change up, Ramaki stays back, gets a piece of it. Good pitch by Cleary. Bear Creek playing Ramaki shade towards left field. The big gap is in right center. Consistent with the way Cleary is working Ramaki away on the outside part of the plate. One pitch. Foul tip back to the screen. The expression on Cleary's face suggesting that maybe that's not where he wanted that pitch to go. I think maybe holding his breath when he let go of that one. Ramaki just missing. But the count's 1-2, so the advantage still with Cleary. Ben Inoka on deck. Grounder out to second. Tyler Pauly up with it over to Jason Hill. 2 outs. So the slow, deliberate pace from Sean Cleary, testing patience of New York hitters, makes it hard to really get comfortable when you feel like you're waiting all the time. It's worked effectively to this point in the game for Cleary. Inoka 1 for 2, had the RBI single in the first. Popped out to short last time. Ball away off the plate. Same formula for Inoka as Ramaki. trying to keep the ball on the outside edge. That one down in the dirt, gets away from Bolin. It was Inoka who drove in the lone run in that 3-1 loss way back in the first game of the year. He had a solo home run. That was just about all the offense the Gremlins had that day against Mannion and Schofield. High fly ball deep to left field. Going back are the outfielders at the wall. Gone. Ben Inoka, another solo home run. Gives his team a little breathing room here. Looked like he got under it, but got a real good piece of it. It just carried and carried. Bruce and Pomeroy meeting up in the middle of the gap in left center. Watch the replay. Yep, up in the zone. And that ball just carried right on out. So for the second time, Ben Inoka with a solo home run against this Bear Creek team. Once in the first game and once again 27 games later. So Matthew Waugh and Inoka with solo homers. Here's Ochoa. Change up and a good one on the outside edge. Good pitch to call after the homer. Ben Inoka having himself a big day. That's 2 RBI, 2 hits in 3 attempts. Foul tip. So the first run surrendered by Cleary since the beginning of the first inning. He gave up runs to the first 3 batters of the game before settling in. Tag note on that home run, Remaki hit his 8th yesterday. So Inoka with that one ties him with 8 for the home run lead on the team. 0-2. Off the plate outside, Ochoa giving that one a long look, but says Eric with a wide open stance. Comes front and center when the pitch is thrown. Off the plate, a changeup again. Sean floats that one in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Almost nothing in on any of these Gremlin hitters from Cleary. We'll see what he does here on the 2-2. Grounder to second. Up with it is Pauly. Over to Hill for the outside, retired. But not before the Gremlins add another one on the big home run from Ben Inoka. Solo shot. We'll head to the home half of the 4th inning. Gremlins now on top by a 4-2 score. I'm Jim Flanagan here on the Gremlins Network. We'll be back with more great action. Don't go away. Home half of the 4th for Bear Creek. Still Jack Bestgrove, the starter in the circle. A couple more notes on Mankato. Some statues down in the downtown area. very spectacular looking murals all over town, including one that is 6 silos all grouped together, 120 feet tall. Take a look, Google the word Ardent Mills, A-R-D-E-N-T, Mills. Very impressive, though the photos hardly do it justice. More impressive in person. Here's Colin Walsh to start things off in the 4th. In for a call strike from Bestgrove. 5, 6, 7 in the order for Bear Creek. Walsh, Hill, and Galeno, the substitute that came in at shortstop. Walsh a fly out to Brian Avery in right field, his first time up. In for a call third, and Walsh knew it. No question on that call. Good pitch from Bestgrove. Watch the location and the movement on this one. Moving up and away from the lefty, so 1 out recorded in the inning. It'll be Jason Hill. Hill, a strikeout victim, his first time up. He went down looking. Change up on the outside edge. So some great pitch calling by veteran Nick Mullins. Mullins, of course, catches the Ostrander pitcher, Brian Kilpatrick, also a lefty. Kilpatrick getting his squad a bronze medal. Now Mullins working with lefty from Australia, who earned gold. Some of the unsung talents of Nick Mullins. Sometimes you can overlook the importance, but a big part of the formula for victories in the 2023 season is Mullins. Hill waits on the changeup, a little slow roller out to Malarchuk, over to Ochoa for the out. Looked like Hill picked up the changeup as it was coming, but couldn't hold back the weight long enough. Here's the replay. You see him sort of hitch. Couldn't get the full weight of his swing on that one, so 2 quick outs for Bestgrove and the batter David Galeno. A hop and a skip on that one, back to the backstop for a ball. Jack says, I was just buying a little bit of time to do some more housekeeping out here on my pitching circle. Upstairs in the high end of the strike zone for a called strike. Or a ball, I guess. Two and 0. That one's in for a call strike, and Galeno saying, you sure? Same general vicinity, but the count 2-1. Bestgrove rocks back and fires a change-up and a beauty. Just drops that one in for a called strike. Galeno taking a ghost swing there, just saying, throw it again, I'll be ready this time. 2-2 now. Fly ball out to right field, shallow is Avery. He'll come on to make the catch. So a good inning for Bestgrove following the insurance run homer from Inoka. 3 up and down for Bear Creek. No runs, no hits, and no one left. We see a pitching change coming. It's Justin Schofield. We'll be back with more right after this. Top half of the fifth inning, a pitching change for the Bear Creek Express. It will be Justin Schofield coming on for Cleary, so you can close the book on Cleary. He surrendered the 4 runs, 3 in the first, but settled in and pitched very well for the duration. It's been a similar formula for the Express during the season. Schofield for 5, Cleary for 5, Schofield for a couple. In this one, Cleary for 4, and Schofield coming on. Justin doing some good work for Team Canada, the veteran. As we said, pitched in that first game win that the Express had over the Gremlins. It was the youngster Riley Mannion that started, and Schofield came in and closed things out, as he has here in a couple of the games for the Bear Creek Express. 5, 6, 7 for the Gremlins. That means Zenon Winters, Cole Evans, and Ryan Avery. Malarchuk would follow if we get that far. 4-2 is the score. Semi-final here. Winner advancing to play Hill United tonight at 7 p.m. local time in this national championship tournament. Winners 0 for 2 on the day, so that sizzling .431 average might dip a bit, but he's back for his third at-bat, first time against Schofield. Swing and a miss on a beautiful drop. Lots of movement on that pitch from Schofield. Rise ball fouled off and out of play. That one up in the zone on Winters, but hacking away is Z. Aggressive but selective is Zenon Winters at the plate. Schofield working at a quicker pace than did Cleary. I imagine some of the players on the other side and the fans might like that a bit better, but Cleary made that pace work for him. Tries to check his swing, holds up. I think they're going to appeal it, and he held up. A ball and 2 strikes on Zenon Winters. One ball, 2 strikes. Hard grounder down to first, but Hill will just scoop it up and step on the bag for the out. Cole Evans will step in. Watch the replay. He just didn't get enough of the bat on the ball. Three unassisted if you're scoring with us at home. It's Cole Evans now. Evans 0 for 2, popped out to second, and then had that crazy hop. The ball that hit the shortstop wound up over to Paulie at second, and back to first on a 6-4-3. Not a double play. Lays off that one, 2-0. Evans with 24 runs scored. That's third, or actually second. Tied for second with Inoka in that category, so he's on base a lot. Just missed that one, straight back to the screen. Bear Creek playing Evans shaded towards left, so the gap is in right center. I think on balance, Evans tends to pull the ball more than he goes that way, so probably the correct book on him for defense. Foul tip out of play on the right side. We'll do it again. This game featuring the number 1 and number 4 ranked teams. The Gremlins number 1. Hill Creek ranked number 3 waiting to see who they play tonight at 7 in the winner's bracket final. Bounces that one in the dirt. So the count runs full on Evans. Brian Avery will be next. Schofield also pitched against these Gremlins. I believe it was the Boys of Summer tournament, pitching for, if memory serves me, AWP. Pitched well in that outing. Misses inside, and Evans once again aboard. So the batter for the Gremlins, Brian Avery, a couple of hits on the night, 2 for 2. RBI single to left, and then he had that hard one that he sort of tomahawked out to center field. That was the ball, you may remember, right at the center field camera, but it was up in the zone, Brian going after it. Ball upstairs. Good jump off the bag over there by Evans. Not speed in the sense of a Matthew Waugh or someone like that, but he handles himself on the bases. So something in the gap, expect to see him going to third. Right now the count 2-0 on Brian Avery. Ball high. In the on-deck circle is Blake Hunter, so it looks like he'll come in to hit for Malarchuk. Hunter among the home run leaders for the Gremlins, despite having half of the at-bats of the starting crew. High ball, and Avery works the walk. That'll send Evans down to second. And a bit of trouble here for Schofield with Hunter coming up. That'll bring a quick visit to the circle by Ryan Boland and the infield, but probably just talking about what they're going to do with it. Encouraging Justin to throw some strikes here, but maybe also to be careful with Blake Hunter. Hunter, the extra base hit machine. 11 hits and only 1 a single. 7 home runs and 3 doubles. Off the plate, good hard one from Schofield. A little extra velocity on that one. Hunter, despite being a platoon player, is actually tied for second in RBI. All started with that big grand slam home run in the finals of the Chiefs Challenge tournament that won the tournament for the Gremlins and sort of set the wheels in motion for the win streak they've been on. In for a call, strike, good hard one on the outside edge. Evans at second, Avery at first. It's Hunter at the plate, trying to add to this 2-run lead for the Gremlins. Gets to the backstop off the glove of Boland. Moving up 60 feet are Evans and Avery. More of a pass ball, I think. I'm not sure if maybe the two of them got crossed up on the signs, but got away into the backstop. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Hunter. Hard one into left field. That's a base hit. That'll bring home Evans. Avery coming around third. The throw to the plate, and he's going to be out. Good throw coming in from the outfield from Quentin Bruce, but on the base hit from Blake Hunter driving in a run. Gremlins try and get greedy. They get one and have another thrown out. On the throw to the plate, Hunter winds up at second base, and it looks like we'll have a re-entry. It'll be Malarchuk going back out to run. So Blake Hunter did what he was asked to do. He delivers a key RBI single, hard shot to left. Evans scoring, and Avery cut down on the 7-5-2. So another valuable run scored, and it looks like skipper Greg Leather's going to go for broke here. He'll bat Wayne Laulu. Big power hitter for the Gremlins. Many big game home runs out of this fellow. New Zealand native getting his chance here to drive in another run. Mullins had been 0 for 2, so Laulu replaces him in the 9 spot. Downstairs for a ball. 2-0. First base open, so maybe the temptation to pitch around Laulu, but with Matthew Waugh on deck, it won't get much easier. Sometimes you just pitch to the batter you feel the most comfortable with. 2-0 was the count on Laulu. Big swing, hard grounder over to third. Up with it is Brandon Horn, and across the diamond for the out. So 5-3 on the putout. Gremlins add another run on a couple of hits. We'll be back with the home half of the 5th inning. New York Gremlins on top now by a 5-2 score. The winner battling to get into tonight's 7 p.m. final in the winner's bracket. We'll be back. Half of the 5th inning for Bear Creek. It'll be 8-9-1 in the batting order. Brandon Horn, Jordan Pomeroy, and then back to the top of the order for Quentin Bruce. Jack Besgrove, the starter, still in the circle. He has really settled in since that first inning. Misses away with the ball. After giving up 3 runs, the Bear Creek Express fired back with 2 of their own in the first. But since then, it's been quiet. Besgrove setting down the last 10 batters in a row. Grounded foul over on the right side. Not unlike Cleary's work. Cleary gave up the 3 early and then settled in. And it was a 3-2 ball game until Inoka struck with a homer. And now the Gremlins adding 1 more in the last half inning. 1-1 pitch. Strike down the middle. Malarchuk is back at second base, so Hunter was a pinch hitter only. Malarchuk came back in to run after he singled home the run. Swing and a miss late on that one is Horn. Way late, down he goes on strikes. Six strikeouts, if I have my count correctly, for Besgrove to this point in the game. We mentioned he had 14 yesterday in that win over the Oma Tigres. Swing and a miss late again is Pomeroy. Pomeroy, a strikeout victim, his first time up against Bestgrove. His second look in this at-bat. Fly ball out to center field. Going back to the races is Inoka. Ball bounces up and over the fence. We see Inoka's hands go up. That ball took off and got on Inoka in a hurry. Let's watch the replay. Up in the zone, driven deep to center field. Benny trying to go back and catch up with it, but it bounces over for the ground rule double. So a good piece of hitting by the youngster. And with one out and one on, we're back to the top of the order, Quentin Bruce. Foul ball out of play over on the left side. It was Bruce who led off the bottom half of the first inning with a home run, matching Matthew Waugh, who had done it in the top of the first for the Gremlins. So Bestgrove with a luxury of a 3-run lead now, a little bit more breathing room. Swing and a miss late on the pitch was Quentin Bruce. Bestgrove looking a little sharper through the last couple of innings than he did at the outset. Seems to have gotten comfortable with that landing area. A little extra velocity on a few of these pitches of late. Hard one again, fouled up and out of play. That one the rise ball. Quick word with Mullins, or by Mullins and Bestgrove, and something that Jerome Remaki adding. So I'm guessing talking about what they're doing with the runner at second base. No one's put down a bunt. Full pitch swinging. Fouled off to the screen. Oh, 0-2 on Quentin Bruce. Advantage Bestgrove. And time is called. Swing and a miss. Good pitch, good location. It was up, but it was also away on Quentin Bruce. Let's watch the replay. Nice location. Boy, look at the movement on that pitch, the late movement from Bestgrove. 2 outs in the inning. It'll be Ty Sebastian stepping in. Sebastian 2 for 2. Doubled in the first and singled in the third. That one goes to the backstop. Going over to third is Jordan Pomeroy. Sebastian in the first inning had a double that followed the home run, exactly like the Gremlin top of the inning. Matthew Waugh with a home run, Jerome Remaki with a double. Bear Creek and the Gremlins playing a little bit of match game. Home run, okay, we'll match it. Double, okay, we'll match it. Outside edge for a call, strike, good location by Bestgrove. Sebastian's double was to left field, his single was to right field. Defense is straight away. Hard grounder foul over on the right side. Swing and a miss late is Sebastian on that one. Down on strikes he goes, so 3 strikeouts in the inning. And we'll head to the top half. And the Gremlins right after this. We'll be back. Top half of the 6th inning for the Gremlins, and top of the order it is Matthew Waugh, Ramaki, and Ben Inoka. Justin Schofield in the circle for Bear Creek. He came on in relief to start a clean 5th inning. Cleary throwing the first 4 innings. The Gremlins scoring 3 in the first. The Bear Creek squad scoring 2 in their first. It was a 3-2 game. The homer by Inoka made it 4-2. And then the Gremlins adding 1 more last inning on the RBI single. Here's Matthew Waugh. Homer reached on an error and flied to right. The Gremlins have won this event, this tournament, national championship, 7 times. 2011, 2012, again in 16, 17, and 18, they had 3 in a row. Another start of a 3-game perhaps, 2021, 2022, trying to make it a trio if they could win this one, but no easy games ahead for them, including this one. High pop-up in the infield. Coming on is center fielder Pomeroy. Galeno, the shortstop, gives way for the out. The record for most national championships won in this event is the Clearwater Bombers. They have 10. Never easy, especially as we head down towards Championship Sunday. Bear Creek Express has given the Gremlins all they can handle in this one. And another arch rival, Nemesis Hill United, waiting in the wings for one of these 2 teams. Ball upstairs to Ramaki. Ramaki 1 for 2, the double, walked and grounded out to second base last time up. Good over the top drop by Schofield, sort of throwing himself along with the ball. Good follow through by the big fellow. One to Ramaki. Hard grounded is second, backing up and fielding it cleanly is Pauly. Over to Hill for the 4-3 put out. 2 up and down quickly in the 6th. Here's Ben Inoka, 2 for 3 on the day. RBI single in the first, solo home run in the 4th. Both of those balls to left field. In for a call strike on the inside part of the plate. The home run was a towering shot. The double, more of a screamer. He might have even hit the double harder than he did the home run. But right now, squaring off with Justin Schofield. Ground ball past the shortstop, Galeno. Slow turn around first, and Inoka's got himself his third hit of the day. Here's Eric Ochoa. Ochoa with an infield single in the first, flied out to left field. Left field back, and it's out of here. Quentin Bruce just looked up and watched that one sail. Eric Ochoa hit one on a line right out of here to left field. Coming in to score ahead is Ben Inoka. So a 2-run shot by Eric Ochoa. So the Gremlins stake Bestgrove to a 7-2 lead. Big home run, big runs scored here in the 6th, late in the game against the Express. Watch the replay. Just went the other way with it. Tremendous power. Bruce in left field knew it from the start. Here's Winters. Off his foot for a foul ball. You know, we talk about Eric Ochoa sometimes, and I make the comparison to Tony Gwynn, both in batting stance and style, liking to go the other way with it. But you have to say Ochoa, if he's a Tony Gwynn, is Tony Gwynn with a lot more power. Ochoa up among the home run leaders now on this Gremlin team. And yes, they both hail or lived in the San Diego area. But more their approach to hitting. Zenon Winters hits one. That's a clean single down the line. Coming up to field, it is Colin Walsh. And Zenon Winters has his first hit in 4 attempts. So after retiring the first 2 batters in the inning, Inoka reached Ochoa the homer, and now Zenon Winters aboard with a single. It'll be Cole Evans. Good over-the-top drop from Schofield. Big follow-through. Throwing his body along with the ball. Lifted out into center field. Going back is Pomeroy. Leaps and makes the catch right on the warning track. Good defensive play by the young center fielder. Evans put a charge into it. Let's see if we can take a peek at that replay as Bestgrove heads back to the circle. We'll be back with more action, home half of the 6th inning. Early getting late for Bear Creek. Home half of the 6th inning for Bear Creek as they try and come back against these Gremlins. 3, 4, 5 in the batting order. That's Tyler Pauly, Ryan Boland, and Colin Walsh. Young 19-year-old Jack Bestgrove still in the circle. He's been the pitcher of record thus far for the Gremlins. Defense straight away. Bestgrove with the luxury of a 5-run margin. He'll need 6 outs to get his team to the championship of the winners bracket. High and shallow in right field, coming on, and nobody's going to get to that one. Alertly heading to second is Tyler Pauly. It looked like maybe Avery was going to make an attempt from right field, but had too far to go. Let's watch the replay. That one falls into no man's land amongst the trio. So credit Pauly with a single, and Ryan Bolin will get a chance to try and bring him home. Swing and a miss on a rise ball. That one up and out of the zone as Bolin gives chase. Avery playing fairly deep in right field with Bolin up. Good power has he. Off the plate away outside. Ball and a strike to Bolin. Colin Walsh will be next. Swing and a miss, goes chasing again out of the zone. Bolin with an infield single in his first trip to the plate. Trying to scratch for one here. 1-2 pitch. High and popped up back to the screen. So a couple 3 rise balls. Bolin's been giving chase. We'll see if Bestgrove takes him up the grain elevator, or maybe comes back in with something hard and down. He's ahead 1-2. Down it is, and it's fouled in the dirt by Bolin to stay alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes again. Foul tip. Bolin kicking at the dirt, not happy. I think he thought that was a pitch he could handle. I think he'd like to see that one again. Still 1-2. That one a little bit down further than the others have been. The strikes have been largely up and out of the strike zone. So again, Bestgrove working to Bolin. 1-2. Popped up in the infield. It'd be up and out of play over on the left side. So he may be behind in the count, but Bolin having himself a pretty good at-bat, making some contact, trying to zero in on one he can handle. Missing just inside with that one. 2-2 now. So Bolin continuing to work the count. 2-2. Tyler Pauly out at second, trying to look over the shoulder of Jack Bestgrove. Swing and a miss on a changeup. It gets away from Mullins. He'll have to hurry just in time. Nice hustle and defense by Nick Mullins. Great pitch by Bestgrove, but hard to handle. Watch it down in the dirt. Swing and a miss. Mullins had to come up throwing. Just barely got Bolin at first. So strikeout in the book, but a lot more going on there. Here's Colin Walsh. Walsh 0 for 2, a fly out to right and a strikeout. Over to third on that one was Pauly. That one hit deep to left field, back towards the foul pole, but it'll hook foul. Had the distance. So Tyler Pauly over at third. Walsh at the plate with 1 out. Bear Creek would dearly love to pick up a run here or 2. Try and get back in the ball game right now, trailing 7-2. Holds up on that one inside. So a ball and a strike on Walsh. Good pitch on the outside edge. Bestgrove thought he had himself a strike there. A long look in. Paulie with good speed over at third. He's going to score on most anything to the outfield. 2-1 pitch. Just off the plate outside, so 3-1. So a little hiccup for Bestgrove here, 3-1. Trying to get that second out. Bear Creek with just 5 outs to use in this game, trailing by 5. In for a call, strike. Walsh heading towards first and what looked like it might be ball 4. But Bestgrove hitting the mark, 3-2 now, full count on call and Walsh. Lifted into deep left field, going back on it is Waugh. It's off the fence. It'll score Paulie easily. And into second with a long stand-up double is Colin Walsh. So a good at-bat. Watch the replay. Up and over the middle of the plate, and he drove it. Looked like it might carry out. But Matthew Waugh going back and getting it in quickly. Keeps Walsh at second. So the score now at 7-3. And Bear Creek still with 5 outs to use. Down now by 4. Looks like a hitter into the lineup for Hill. See if we can pick that one up. Looks like Jeff Lyons. They show Schofield and Lyons both wearing number 44. So Jeff Lyons will step in place of Hill. Key spot for Bear Creek if they're going to get back in this game. Swing and a miss late is Lyons. Tough task to come in off the bench cold against Jack Bestgrove. One pitch. Laced into left field, but it's right at Matthew Waugh. He'll take a step and catch the ball for the second out. So a big out recorded by Bestgrove. Here's the replay. Hard hit ball, went the other way with it, but right at Matthew. So Bear Creek down to their final 4 outs. Down 4. The batter Galeno, who entered the game early at short. In for a call, strike, good over the top drop on the outside edge. One pitch. Up the middle for a base hit, coming around third. To score is Colin Walsh. It's a 7-4 game. So David Galeno did it earlier with his glove, now comes up with a key hit. Bounces one up the middle for a RBI single. Scores Walsh, second run of the inning. And the margin now at 3. And 4 outs remaining for Bear Creek. Here's Brandon Horn. Looks at a ball up and out of the zone for a ball. So the Bear Creek dugout now, they're all up on the screen back in the ball game and very interested in what's going on right now. Little slow nubber he'll have to hurry. Jack throws, skips the throw, and safe at first. Ochoa thought they had him. Let's watch the replay. A little squibber in front of the plate. Besgrove coming up to make the catch, then fires it, but he skipped the throw. Ochoa did all he could to hold on to it, but now runners at first and second. And the inning still alive. Jordan Pomeroy coming up. So when the inning started, it was a 7-2 game. 2 runs in for Bear Creek. They've got 2 more runners aboard. So Pomeroy would represent potentially the tying run. Besgrove looking for that 3rd and final out of the inning. Skipper Greg Leather's going to go out and have a word with everyone. So a classic battle as we might have expected in this one, Bear Creek and New York. It's Jordan Pomeroy at the plate. Swing and a miss late on that one is Pomeroy. Jordan struck out in his first trip to the plate, singled to center, doubled to center in his last time up. Missing just off the plate outside, 1-1. It's David Galeno out at second with pretty good speed. Brandon Horn at first. Right now the action at the plate with Pomeroy though. Foul tip, just missed that one. Pop up in the infield, Ochoa coming on, makes the catch for the final out. And Besgrove strands 2. But Bear Creek scores a couple on 3 hits. And a couple of men left will go to the 7th. 7-4 now, Gremlins on top of Bear Creek. We'll be back for the finish of this one. Top half of the 7th inning for the Gremlins, and another pitching change for the Bear Creek Express. Clean slate, Riley Mannion will have in the 7th. So Cleary through 4, Schofield through 2, and now the youngster Riley Mannion will come on to finish up perhaps for the Express. Mannion, a product of the 23 and under program, but pitched very well in that first game against the Gremlins. He was the starter, held them in check long enough to give his team a chance to win that one. Right now, he's going to try and keep them close. For the Gremlins, 7-8-9, that's Avery, Malarchuk, and Nick Mullins. Matthew Waugh would follow that if we get that far. So Bear Creek storming back with a pair. They've made it a ball game again. The Gremlins would like to add back a run or two, give Jack Besgrove a little cushion going into that 7th. Ball high. Avery 2 for 2, a couple of singles and a walk. He's been aboard 3 times today. Missing inside with the ball. The single was to left field. The second one to center. They are playing him shaded a bit towards left. Missing off the plate, so Mannion 3-0 in danger of losing Avery. In for a call, strike on the outside part of the plate. Another one in for a called strike, so that runs the count full, 3-2. Mannion coming back from a 3-0 count. Foul tip back to the screen. Mannion busting him in with that one. Avery just fighting it off to stay alive. Mannion set, 3-2 pitch. Grounder right back at Mannion. He'll pick it on one hop and escort it over to first base. Jason Hill over there. Back re-entered the game for the out. 1-3 on the putout. Good at bat by Avery, making Mannion throw some pitches, but in the end, Mannion prevails. Ladislav Malarchuk will step in now. Laddie 1 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a single. Also walked, he's been aboard twice. Defensive change, by the way, for the Gremlins. Looks like Dallas Cornelius has come in to catch in place of Boland. So he and Mannion entered as a package deal. Rise ball, a good one. Malarchuk fights it off. We were very impressed with what we saw from Mannion back in that first game of the season. Threw very hard right from the start. That pitch to Malarchuk there had a lot of velocity on it. Laddie just fighting it off. 1-1 count now. That one sails to the backstop, gets a piece of somebody there. Malarchuk, I believe. So Laddie is aboard. Let's watch the replay. Yep, looks like it caught him on the elbow. And Nick Mullins will step in with a runner aboard and one out. Trying to find a way to give his pitcher, Jack Besgrove, an extra run to take to the circle in the 7th. Swing and a miss down on the pitch and in safely at second. Is Malarchuk. Everybody up in the Gremlins dugout now. So the 2 runs scored by Bear Creek in the last frame got their attention. They are all in right now. Malarchuk trying to look over the shoulder of the taller Mannion. 0-1 pitch to Mullins, swing and a miss late, 0-2. Foul tip over the screen and out of play. We'll do it again. Still 0-2. Mannion advantage here against Mullen. Hill United Chiefs, a winner in their semifinal game over AWP Lumberjacks. They are waiting to see who they play at 7 tonight. Little change up off the plate outside. 1-2. Nothing wrong with that idea. 0-2. You want to see if they'll chase. Mullins did not. Foul tip, check swing. 1-2 again. Mannion now set, the 1-2 pitch to Mullins. Hit into deep center field, going back is Pomeroy towards the fence, catches up with it. Tagging at second, moving over to third. On the sac fly is Ladislav Malarchuk. Nick Mullen just missed that one. Sent Pomeroy all the way back to the fence. There you see on the replay. Nice defensive play by the young center fielder. So Malarchuk over to third, and with 2 out, it'll be up to Matthew Waugh to try and get him home. Waugh with the home run to start things off in the first, scoring. He reached on an error and a couple of flyouts the last 2 times up. 1 to center and 1 to right. Way off the plate outside for a ball. They are playing Waugh slightly towards left field, so the gap, or the bigger gap, is in right center. Matthew probably just looking for a single somewhere here to get Laddie home. Splits the uprights for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Would be a big plus if the Gremlins could pick up another. Big plus for Bear Creek if he can get out of trouble here. Good pitch on the outside edge for a called strike. 1-2. Jerome Ramaki looming on deck if we get that far. Ryan Mannion looking for the final out of this top of the 7th inning. Grounder off the knee, and wouldn't you know it, bounces right over to Jason Hill. Steps on the bag and the side retired. Good hard ball struck by Matthew Waugh, just the wrong place. Side retired for the Gremlins. No runs, no hits. 1 man left will go to the home half of the 7th inning. Last call, or perhaps for Bear Creek, down 7-4. We'll be back right after this. Last call for Bear Creek, home half of the 7th inning, and back to the top of the order we are. Quentin Bruce, Ty Sebastian, and Tyler Pauly. It was Bruce that started the scoring for Bear Creek in the first, swing and a miss on a good changeup. After the Gremlins had scored 3, Bruce struck back quickly with a home run to lead things off. The youngster from Australia, Bestgrove, has shown that he can pitch with a bit of pressure here in this game. At one point it was a 3-2 lead and a nail biter after 1 inning. But of course we know Jack has pitched in the big games before. You don't get a gold medal in the men's world or the U23 world without being able to step up. He does with that pitch right there, throws it by Quentin Bruce. So quickly ahead is Jack 0-2 on the leadoff batter. Ball high. Mullins shaking his head as if to say, yeah, that's fine. Trying to see if Bruce would chase. 1-2 now is the count. Misses upstairs with a ball, 2-2. Sebastian next and Paulie to follow after that. Two-two pitch. Little flare foul off the screen on the left side. We'll do it again. Everybody up on the off the dugout bench for Bear Creek, watching intently, hoping their teammates can catch this Gremlin team. Change up, stays way upstairs, 3-2. So he started 0-2, now we're at 3-2. Jack will have to come back with something near the zone. And he does. Strike three, swinging on a good rise ball. Watch the elevation he gets on this pitch against Quentin Bruce. Up and away. Mullins, nice snap save there. So Ty Sebastian will step in. Sebastian with a double and a single. Struck out last time. 2 for 3 on the day. Tyler Paulie waiting on deck. High hopper, looks like it'll be foul unless Ochoa can coax it into fair territory. He was on it, just stayed foul. Bestgrove has gone the distance for the Gremlins. Bear Creek has thrown Cleary, Schofield, and Mannion. They would throw the kitchen sink at the Gremlins if they thought it would get them the win. They have battled throughout this game, keeping it close. Tries to check his swing. I think they're going to appeal, and around he went. A little too far committed, I think, on that one. So the count at 2-2 on Sebastian. In for a call strike. Bestgrove snaps off the drop right down the middle. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Bestgrove. And Bear Creek down to their final out in the form of Tyler Paulie. Paulie singled and scored one of the 2 runs in the 5th. That cut the margin to 7-4. Struck out twice earlier. We'll see how Bestgrove handles him here. First pitch in for a ball. The single was to right field. Ball high upstairs, 2-0. Young Jack Bestgrove looking for one final out to send his team to the winner's bracket final. A changeup and a beauty, swung and a miss. 2-1. That one in for a call strike. So the count 2-2. Paulie not happy with the call and has a word or two, but kind of hard to see on that replay. Umpire's call, though. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. Bear Creek down to their final strike. Hard grounder down to second over With it is Ladislao Ochoa. And the Gremlins come away a 7-4 winner in this one. Over Bear Creek, Gremlins will advance to the winner's bracket final. That one's scheduled tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time. They'll take on number 3 ranked Hill United. Old friends meet again, 7 o'clock tonight. We'll be back on the air for that one. Hope you can join us. You've been watching the Gremlins Network, courtesy of Softball Premier TV. We thank our production crew, Luciano Lofrano and his wife Carol, for bringing you all of the great action and pictures that you've seen throughout the tournament. I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll be back at 7 p.m. Come on back and watch the ball game.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now, softballpremiertv.com.